morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. How you doing? This morning I don't know why I'm sending you a text message, and for some reason everybody's getting all salty and feely, And I told you that we really need to figure out a way to communicate with each other. I think I was talking about the conversation about how, I forget how I basically started it. I said to you that I wanted to, we need to kind of figure out another way to have a conversation about meeting up and doing things, and that's what I really mean by it. I said that you can't delegate. You want people just to make time, and you don't care about how the time is even made or how the money is going to be spent that way. You just want just the time, and then tell people because family is first that we're supposed to just stop doing everything we're doing and just follow through. That doesn't work, and it doesn't. What we need, I told you that we should start by slowly addressing what we want as a family. These videos I've been making really allows me to, one, I get to express how I'm speaking, how I feel. You see me talking to you. Then it's stored where anybody can just look at it again, later on, and I can tag it the way I want to. I could say it's a family scoped, where we're talking about time and working together and priorities, and then you make one, I make one, you make one. After a while, we would have a whole bunch of these videos, and we could always go back and see on what somebody said before and what they said now and what they're doing now. These things help to address on if anybody's even listening to what they're saying. And that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I give you an example. Ma's using the Messenger to tell us about Reverend T having a live video, but she doesn't pay attention to that. She said to us 2 or 3 times already, and she's trying to show it to us every week. She doesn't understand that she's already showed it to us 2 or 3 times. And if you want us to figure out a way to have a conversation to talk about it, if you have a small video, 5 minutes every day or a couple of times a week, you can always cue us in on, hey, don't forget Reverend Teague is doing a little video, or you can get one of us to help you to make a small screen cast where you share a little bit what he said, and then you talk about it. This way, it's not intrusive, because honestly, I feel like I'm really busy, meaning I'm in the morning, you guys are having a conversation, you'll continue the conversation because, one, Aaron is home, and Matthew's home. I work at night. I don't. I work during the day. I had a meeting I had to go to for, some sort of job opportunity, and the overall conversation was going to be to make sure I can, have that I can have some way of touching base with you in the morning. So I was just letting you guys know that. I was like, hey, don't write too much in a text message, And sure enough, as soon as I start going, Aaron goes back and forth. Matthew's also going back and forth, and I feel like the way you guys use your words is as if you're trying to throw snowball or throw dirt, and that I don't think for you to even think that one day that you're gonna throw the dirt at me a certain way, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, you're absolutely right, and then everything just changing. That's not gonna probably happen, I really think that we need to start addressing. If you're angry about something, you should have a conversation on why you're angry and how you wish to address your anger, with the family. Not really get mad and say, oh, no one's doing anything the way I want them to do it, or no one's paying attention to the family. And that's what I hear that. That's Ma's, main, weapon, and about how the family should come first, and that no one, and if you're not paying attention to the family, you don't respect the family, whatever. Those things that's not really true, I really believe that we are all a part of the family. We all, respect the family, but we all have our own things, to being done. If I was trying to, address that in a video earlier, I said that if you want us to kind of like, you know, spend time together, we need to have money, you know, and in order to use money to make up for free time, you know. If I want to go ahead and write a book, I can sit back and write the book by myself, but I also need somebody to edit it. I can edit it myself. I can hire an editor to help me write it, or I can write my source down and have somebody, you know, type it up for me. You know, like there's always going to be like ways of doing things. You need to work as a group, and I think that's where we need to start focusing on our situation, focusing on the situation as a group. You know, getting our things done as a group. You know, I was hoping that we can make a video. You know, so that way we can go ahead and we can go ahead and we can think about like working on getting like our, you know, I guess our lives together, you know. If we have a business, you know, of some sort, we have to always come together to talk about the business, and therefore we can also talk about each other, and therefore the business will help bring money in if we do a good job, therefore bringing us more things together, and so on and so on, you know. So I really think that that's where we should be getting at. You know, one of the ideas of the business was us, like, you know, working at buying a house together. You know, we would all have to share our finances, our thoughts on money, etc., to only get what we wanted ultimately as a business, you know, as a family, you know. And the business would basically keep us together because of the fact that we're working hard to keep, you know, the business running, because the business helped us to be a better family. We can go places together, we could do things together, you know. I bring up another explanation before. I don't want this video to go too much. I only want it to be, you know, 7-8 minutes, but I'm gonna push it to 8 minutes just for this one conversation. Dr. Aziz Sawjri, you know, he's been a doctor for a long time. He's managed to bring in a lot of money with his own practice, and he has his daughter, and he has his son, and he has his nephews, and he has his grandchildren, all working to keep the family, you know, together by them working along with it. They take a vacation as a family 2-3 times a year, and everybody's not able to be seen because they worked on that. They were able to manipulate the time by using it to earn money together, and then therefore everyone is pretty happy. So even if one person isn't, you know, a college graduate, then everybody's, you know, people can still make money and be successful because they're all working together. And we can, that's the kind of idea that I'm thinking of. Now I know that we're not really, you know, time, you know, we spend so much time, you know, living together, and we may not have as much time to start off something new, but we can still go ahead and, you know, work on something like that by going ahead and at least once a day we bring up a topic and everybody shares their idea of the topic. You tag the topic like that and you move forward. And this is how you should basically, because this way when you're arguing about things, you can argue with actual evidence. Because one day, you know, if you want to argue today about me not being respectful on people's time and I don't care today, but then later on you see me and I'm talking to you and you forget about the reason why, you know, I'm actually, you know, coming over or doing anything, then we forget on like what we want to spend with our time in the first place, you know. And that's just one of the things that I'm trying to address with you guys, because of the fact that we need to focus on what we want, you know, as a family, you know. I think that a lot of people are just hurt and salty and want things to be that way, and you just go with whatever you want it to. You look at the situation the way you want to look at the situation instead of looking at it with the way it is you see fit. You know, I really expected us to do some more things. I still believe we can. Are you willing to do it? Fine. Let's work together. If you're not, then we're only going to see each other probably once a year then, because there isn't any more money for me to go ahead and drive 2 hours outside, you know, to go see everybody every weekend and go do things, or like go ahead and spend my money to go to some resort. We don't need to go to a resort. you know. And that's what I'm trying to say. We need to focus on putting our lives together, making sure we're all on the same page, you know, instead of us pointing fingers, because that's not how it's gonna work. You know, I maybe it's just me. Maybe I think too much. I have my dreams are maybe too big for everybody, but they're not gonna get any smaller. I'm not gonna have a smaller dream because of the fact that it may not include the entire family. Instead, if you really care the family is supposed to be here, let's work together on it. You know, if you want to go ahead and have a resort, you know, trip, you know, let's find a way where everybody's not paying for it out of their pocket. You know, that's how we can start to be together. We don't have to go on a resort for us to be a family. We can all just meet up and, you know, play soccer. You know, like that's how we can basically do things. We can all get up and meet and play DDR or learn to sew, you know, or learn to skydive. You know, it could be anything. We don't have to fly out on a plane for it to be, you know, us as a family. I think that's the problem.